In our 6-year quest for the best bike phone mount, we've tested almost 30 models and bought 10 of this year's top options for our latest round of side-by-side testing. We rode with these mounts for hundreds of miles on our daily commutes across smoothly paved surfaces and over rough off-road terrain. We checked out how they could handle water and dust, then mounted them on mountain bikes for strenuous tests of vibration and durability. To our surprise and your good fortune, some of the best performers in many situations turned out to be among the least expensive models. In this video, I'll talk about the 5 best bike phone mount. I put the links in the description box down below. Check them out and please consider subscribing our channel. Let's get started with the video. Number 5. Wildman Bike Phone Mount Bag. The Wildman Bike Phone Mount Bag is an affordable option if you're looking for a bike phone mount with extra storage. This bag was easier to set up than the Rock Rose waterproof bag because its Velcro straps and loops are larger and place more conveniently. This mount protects your phone from all kinds of weather and is very secure on your bike, despite that it jiggles a bit. As a bonus, the bag has enough storage space for extra gear like a wallet, keys, or a snack. On the downside, the bike bags are big and take up most of your bike's top tube, meaning it's hard to stand over the bike while the bag is installed, especially if you're a smaller person on a smaller bike frame. Also, the plastic that protects your phone simultaneously makes it harder to use. Decreased touchscreen sensitivity and phone screen glare make this mount score poorly in our ease of phone access metric. Also, some users found that their phones overheated on hot days in the bike bag. If you want a bike bag that is weatherproof and has ample storage, the Wildman bag is a good pick. Number 4. Nite Ize Wraptor. Versatility, ease of setup, and low price make the Nite Ize Wraptor one of our testers' favorites. The Nite Ize is tied with the VUP for being the easiest and most intuitive to mount on your bike. No tools were required, and it fit on every bike handlebar we tested. When mounted, the Nite Ize can rotate into whatever orientation you want, landscape, portrait, or something in between. Additionally, the Nite Ize seamlessly transferred onto strollers for walks and shopping carts for grocery store runs. While this mount is made of plastic and rubber, it is one of the sleekest mounts in the lineup. Our testers were impressed with its design. The Nite Ize may not be the best choice for you if you plan to solely ride single track. The mount is surprisingly stable, but if you miss putting a corner entirely on, your phone is at risk of falling out. Because it is a universal mount, it takes a few seconds to get your phone on and off the mount. Also, this mount does not provide weather protection alone. For mounts like this, we recommend using a weatherproof case for your phone if you plan to ride in inclement weather. A potential issue with this mount is that an extra large phone with a beefy case may not fit in the straps. For most people, the Nite Ize would be a great mount at a fraction of the cost of other high-performing mounts. Number 3. VUP Silicone Mount. As one of the most affordable mounts on our recommended short list, the VUP Silicone Mount is a great budget pick. It performs nearly as well as the Nite Ize in nearly every metric and is only around half the cost. The VUP stands apart from the crowd as being the easiest mount to set up. It was intuitive and only took 5 seconds to install on our handlebars. Our testers found this mount to be satisfyingly simple to use. Another great feature is that the mount can rotate to both landscape and portrait orientation. The VUP also excels in being versatile. It can easily transfer from bike to bike or from bike to stroller. It is also very light for those counting grams. While the VUP mount is user-friendly and performs relatively well due to its simplicity, there are some downsides. Compared to its similar competitor, the Nite Ize, the VUP mount is not nearly as stylish. It also doesn't have quite the size range compatibility as the Nite Ize. This is especially an issue if you plan to ride in weather, like our testers who bike commute to work most days and want to use a weatherproof case on your phone. Number 2. Peak Design Out Front Bike Mount. If you mainly use one bike on your phone out front, the Peak Design Out Front Bike Mount is our top choice. It has most of the pros of the Peak Design Universal Mount with the added benefits of a more streamlined setup. It's just as easy as the Universal to remove your phone and place it back on the magnetic pad. Like the Universal Mount, it sucks to the bar mount when you get it reasonably close and is very secure on bumpy terrain, with some caveats listed below. This scored lower than the Universal Mount because it is not fast to install or swap between bikes. While it comes with adapters, it does not work perfectly on all bar widths. For example, the extra bar inserts were too big for our test mountain bike, but without the inserts, the mount became loose and slipped off on bumpy terrain. We fixed the issue by wrapping the bar with some tape. But this is not the most aesthetic or simple solution. This mount is also more expensive than the Universal, and like the Universal, requires a case specific to your phone. The case does not work well on standard magnetic car register. It is not one case to rule them all. This is a great mount if you mainly use one bike and take the time to dial in the setup. But most people will be better served with the Universal mount. Number 1. Peak Design Universal Bar Mount. The Peak Design Universal Bar Mount stands out for how easy it is to remove and replace your phone with one hand. Once you learn the easy technique, you can remove the phone with one hand similarly as the quad lock and rock for mounts. The difference between the competition is when you put the phone back on the bar, you only have to get the phone reasonably close to the mount, and the magnetic field grabs and locks it securely in place. By comparison, most of the competition is much harder to put the phone back, especially if you are riding. This mount is easy to swap between bikes and goes onto just about any bar width, including grocery carts, strollers, or your favorite workout treadmill. It is very secure in bumpy terrain. The case is slim compared to the competition and just looks good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time to pick the best of the best. Check the links in description and subscribe our channel for videos like this. Have a good day.